injured. David Smith replaces Chris Ashurst, who has a cut eye. And many people today will be watching Phil Mackenzie, the brilliant Australian-born hooker, now qualified to play for Great Britain, but ignored by Malcolm Reilly. Rovers welcome back David Lightfoot and Brian Niebling after 4-match suspensions. Steve Hadey keeps his place after making his debut in the 28-25 victory at Oldham last week. And watch for Wayne Parker, the man keeping Bishop out of the team, back to his best after an injury-hit year. Coming up, Wigan meet Australia, Hull extend their lead in the Championship, another go at our competition, and more on David Bishop. But he's now forgotten as the men Roger Millward has selected take on the World Club Champions. Commentators David Watkins and John Hell.
Yes, it's all down to the match now, and it certainly is the game everybody has been talking about for the right or the wrong reasons. Widnes kicking off from the boot of Jonathan Davis. But there's no doubt... here, Widnes with an early opportunity, taking the ball, and then what an unfortunate moment for the knock-on from Les Holiday. But David, I wonder how the Hulkingston Rovers players are going to react after the news of David Bishop.
Well, controversy, much written, much said about it, and much more to be said, I suppose. But uppermost in the mind of the players, I'm sure, is pride of performance, and today's game means so much to them, and to win will be the only thing they'll be thinking of at this moment.
A good searing run from Paul Lyman. Here now is the Australian Brian Niebling. And glad to welcome him back after a 4-match suspension. As indeed they are Lightfoot at full-back. Already the crowd are roaring. They'll ooh with every tackle. It's a good solid take from John Devereux. Of course the players have to stay 10 yards away, but they were up very sharply. Now Mylan. The Widnes captain, great to see him back in top form this season. And a penalty awarded, and certainly it is good to see Tony Mylan getting over his injury problems, and he must even now be figuring in Malcolm Reilly's thinking.
I would have thought so, because there isn't a better standoff half in the game on form than Tony Mylan. He's unfortunately had a number of injuries, and it is good. They were saying today that this is one of the longest spells he's had without picking up a niggling injury, so I'm hoping that that will continue.
Not more than 5 yards out, and the referee said no, you can't play on from there. He had been held in the tackle. I thought he was going to try and kid everybody and go straight over. Mackenzie acting half-back. David Hume spills the pass, and it is a knock-on. Number 2 unenforced handling errors.
Well, I think that's the case. I think there's so much needle in this particular game. Hull KR showing that they are rightly positioned in the First Division, and of course Widnes proving that they are the champions we all know they can be.
Hull KR again win the scrum importantly. Wayne Parker. Offside against Widnes. And up steps Graham Hallis, who's taken over all kicking responsibilities in the absence of Mike Fletcher. And had a really good day at Oldham last week. That's James Golding showing his power. Kiwi international. Look at Sean Poe. Just 19, one of those youngsters we were featuring. That's a good gap open for Lyman to go into, and Paul Lyman goes on strongly. Good play here from Hulkingston Rovers. The supporter was Niebling. Here's Watson. Oh, this is a lively start, and it's going to be a try for Anthony Sullivan. He races in. The Widnes cover wasn't there, and the league's leading try scorer is on the mark again. Number 13, but nothing unlucky about that for Hulkingston Rovers.
Well, the build-up to this try is superb, because this is backing up at his best. Lyman makes the initial break, and when Sullivan gets the ball, he steps easily in between the Widnes defenders to score first-class try.
Roger Millward says he honestly rates Anthony Sullivan in the same bracket as Martin Offiah, and you can't get higher praise than that. Hallis left-footed to make it 6-0, which he does. Nice to get the first one in the bag.
Well, it's a quick play, the ball here, and of course after Lyman had made the initial burst, it really was the defence caught out of position, making it quite a simple task for Sullivan to come inside.
And David, I think something else noticeable there, the power of the two front row men, James Golding and Brian Niebling.
Well, that's right. When they actually made the initial burst, it was a great defensive covering, but it drew Devereux in from the wing, and then the defence split up because players weren't back in position.
It was quite a controversial decision by Roger Millward to release Greg Austin, who has since signed for Halifax, a pacey three-quarter, and to bring in a prop forward James Goulding. But I think uppermost in his thinking must have been that he needed the strength up front.
I think it's so important. We all know that without a good pack of forwards you can struggle in the game, and to have somebody as forceful as Goulding playing does make that much difference to their pack.
The penalty is awarded to Widnes. The crowd didn't like the decision. Then home crowds rarely do like a decision which goes against their team. And back on Widnes then on the attack. And they'll want to get an immediate response to that Sullivan try. 5 more tackles to come then as Mackenzie spoons the ball out. Now Myler, who's gone into that gap and he's looking strong. Tony Myler has gone to the line and he's scored, and he really hoodwinked them. The Hull Kingston Rovers defence, you can only say, was caught napping there by Tony Myler.
Well, it says much for Tony Myler's strength here when he actually makes this break, but he comes back inside to a covering of defence, and really it's the lack of people holding him and putting him down to the floor that lets him score. 3 men holding on, Myler slips away and scores.
Our slow motion replay proved there was nothing wrong with that try, totally legitimate. The referee was right on the spot, and there were a couple of players injured in all that. And there you see the prostrate Hull Kingston Rovers player, and unfortunately a stretcher has been called for.
Which will cheer when Tony Myler now turns back in field, and it's when Niebling goes in here to hang on to him, and when he shakes away from this particular tackle, look, 2 Hull Kingston Rovers men have bumped into him, and Myler wriggles away, leaving him prostrate on the ground.
This could be a really sickening blow for Hull Kingston Rovers. A neck brace has been applied to Brian Niebling, and he's so influential in the Hull Kingston Rovers pack. We can only hope that injury is not as serious as it at first looks. So Jonathan Davis has to put all that out of his mind. The try was scored a long time ago. He tries to convert it, and he does so. A well-lofted kick from the Welshman, and Widnes have got their immediate response. It's 6-6. Well, we have a man down on the touchline, Nick Powell, and Nick has got some more information about that injury to Brian Niebling.
Well, John, the news is perhaps a little better than we might have feared. Like I said, that Brian Niebling is now sitting up in the medical room. The doctor says he's jarred his neck badly, but it doesn't seem to be any worse than that. He's sitting up, he's still got the neck brace on, but fortunately things not as bleak as they might have seemed at first sight.
Thanks, Nick, that is good news. Goulding, 15 minutes gone, 6 points apiece. He takes some knocking down, this fella. Zukema, Wayne Parker, again looking to create the gap through the middle, and they found one, and Watson streaks away. He's past Davis, he's behind the sticks. Hull KR have got another try from the Kiwi, David Watson.
Well, they disappointingly gave away a try at the one end, but this they make no doubts about. Strong running by Goulding, first of all. Lovely running onto the ball by Watson. Takes him away from the defence. Leaves Davis standing for a superb try near the post.
And wasn't that a marvellous shot in rugby league? Power, poise, absolutely everything from David Watson. And he's been an excellent acquisition here. Played for Rydale York, of course, last year, and he's definitely a first division footballer on that evidence. Hallis should pop this one over. 12-6 it is. And again, just what Hull KR needed.
Its quick playing of the ball has been so important in Hull KR's make-up and to these situations. Look how he comes onto the ball. By coming onto the ball at speed, it took him away completely from the fullback. A superb piece of running, a great try.
And Zook Emma going off from Hulkingston Rovers side. So early changes then, forced on the Roger Millwood team. Mike Fletcher will come on to replace Zook Emma. Widnes' turn to come strongly with Grimmer. Smith, a fire. It seems such a long time, of course, since a fire had the ball, and he's gone through there. He's done well for his side. He opened up a gap, no doubt, with his pace, and they're running well now with Carrier. Still Carrier. The ball out to the right wing, put down, and Carrier will kick it into touch. In fact, it hasn't even gone into touch. Now Carrier and Devereux unable to combine.
Well, the fire now coming back infield. He's been starved of opportunities on the outside, but just look what contribution he can make when he splits up the Hull Kingston Rovers defence right down through the middle. Quick hands now toward the wing. Unfortunately, after David Hume passes this ball out to Carrier, the half break was made by slipping of the tackle, but Devereux failed to hold the ball in his tackle of Tony Sullivan, and it all went to no avail.
Roger Millwood happy to just sit back, relax, and he's seen it all before. It's a pretty tense game, though. Offside this time against Widnes. They've been caught a couple of times now. And Tony Myler is coming to inquire of the referee about all these offside decisions, and for that he has cost 10 yards to his side and given Hull Kingston Rovers an excellent chance of another couple of points.
Well, that's debatable, because he is the captain of the side and he is entitled to ask the referee's decision, or to question it rather, and I'm rather surprised that the referee wasn't listening and did say go back 10 yards, and I think that was a little unfortunate.
I suppose it does depend what the words were. And that's 3 out of 4. And Hull KR are 8 points in the clear. But it's such a game that you know it's far from over.
Oh, you can never ever say that the Widnes side will take anything lying down, and there's still plenty of fight and plenty of skill and endeavour left in them yet.
Yes, you get the feeling they've just somehow got to put their game together. They have at times, and the end product hasn't been there. Lightfoot. Trying to duck in and out of the challenges. Nothing wrong with that tackle from Grimmer. There's Steve Haydy, the youngster, who actually is an ardent Hull FC fan. How extraordinary, playing for Hull Kingston Rovers. Goulding again. Brute force this. He does enjoy himself, and they don't enjoy tackling him. It's down to Devereux. Has to come across field. Now he'll straighten up. Lock on. And apart from the one occasion when Myler scored, the Hull Kingston Rovers defence has been able to handle everything.
Well, they played well. They've covered up for each other. There's been 2 and 3 tacklers into the tackle. A little appall in the tackling of Tony Myler when he scored his try. But apart from that, really, they've been up quickly and they really have got amongst this Widnes side and prevented them from really opening the game out.
Parker was penalised for feeding at the scrum. And that's a good touch found by Davis, so Widnes will restart play no more than 10 or 15 yards out here, with Smith coming on the burst. Hume involved in it twice. The reverse ball here. Oh, and he must surely make it. Is that a try? The referee's there to see if it is. No, it was a double movement by Richard Ayres. So the try not given, penalty awarded to Hull Kingston Rovers, and that's one thing you can't do in rugby league. I
think if we watch this carefully, it's a superbly engineered move because the ball comes back inside here. Richard Ayres again takes it on the burst, tears the defence apart, breaks through a bit of weak tackling again, but falls just before the line, and then it's a bit of a scramble, and the referee was quite right. Double movement, penalty kick to Hull Kingston Rovers.
If in fact the ball had been kept off the ground, it would have been okay. And there are chances now because Lightfoot has made a good break through the middle. Widnes have to get men back, and quickly. Lyman will take it on 30 yards out. Parker switches to the right foot, comes inside. He scored a dazzling try at the Watersheddings last week. He's his best form for about 3 years, I would think. Watson, reverse ball. Golding grabbed around the neck by Myler. He's not going to go down, you know. 5 minutes from the break, and Hull Kingston Rovers massing the ranks here. Lightfoot took the inside pass, forced to Myler's tackle. Drop goal attempts by Graham Hallis. It's good. And they nudged themselves forward into a 15-6 lead. There was a cool head on the shoulders.
Well, that was really doing the right thing at the right time. They'd exerted enough pressure on the Widnes defence. They wanted to capitalise on it, and that young gentleman there thought, here's my opportunity, drop the goal over, have the ball back to us. First class.
Well, among our viewers this week are the lads out on HMS York in the Gulf, and I'm sure they're enjoying the action just as much as we are, and I think only right on this occasion we can send them our best wishes too. Good luck to the lads out there, and the lads over here certainly enjoyed themselves at Craven Park. Myler right, couldn't get the ball away because it was a good two-man tackle. Courier, he's run to good effect on a couple of occasions, flings it back inside. Knock on asked for by the crowd, and knock on given by the referee. Widnes are looking for a little bit of inspiration from somewhere. It normally comes from their half-back pairing, but the Hull Kingston Rovers half-backs have done well today. Sullivan keen to get involved. Watson showing it. Hallis trying to get between the two, and he's got past them as well, and he goes, and Davis comes across towards him. Hallis kicks. It's a great chase on here for Rovers, and brave defending by Jonathan Davis. He had to get back, he had to turn, and he has saved his side.
Well, that was a superb piece of opportunism then by Davis. Just watch this break, though. This is superb time pass by Watson. Look how he comes onto the ball with force, going through now up the field. Sees that he's going to be cut off by the defence coming over, but nonetheless has the opportunity to chip it into the middle. And it really is everything, all systems go. But Davis bravely falls on the ball and saves Widnes.
It's been an excellent half for Roger Millward's men. And Hull Kingston Rovers go away for their half-time cup of tea, well pleased with a 15 points to 6 lead over Widnes here at Craven Park. And there we have it. In best statistics, tries from Sullivan and Watson, 3 goals and a drop from Graham Hallis against that 1 score by Tony Myler. 15-6 at half-time. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to New Craven Park. Hull Kingston Rovers 15, Widnes 6 then. So Roger Millward's men extremely happy with the interval situation. Widnes not so happy at all. But as David Watkins made the point earlier on, you'd never discount Widnes. Not with players of this calibre in. Davis and a fire. And that almighty man in the back, Mose Koloto. And he's with the ball now, Koloto. And that's what we were talking about. A terrific surging run from the Tongan. That's marvellous stuff. Oh, would you believe it? He might get all the way to the try line. Koloto's strength. Well, he was a colossus there. He must have covered 80 yards. Which for a second row man is astonishing. And Widnes trying to come right back. They're injecting some pace and some ideas into their game. Currier. And I think Dougie Lawton has got them steamed up for this second half. But really, that was fantastic. A comment about that Koloto run in a moment from David. Grimmer. And they're throwing it around now. Davis has come up into the line. Can't get the pass out this time. There's the loose forward and the ball going to ground, and that was more typical of what happened in the first half.
Well, this is no doubt the pep talk of Dougie Lawton was to really start breaking down this defence, and Mose Koloto does just that, pushing people off and just running up the field. What a magnificent start to the second half.
He is awesome. But it's a Rovers ball from the scrum. The statistics of the first half, and very good from a Hull Kingston Rovers point of view so far as the scrums are concerned. And they also took one against the head. The penalties conceded, Widnes, that's not typical really. 10 by them, 7 by Rovers. And the errors in play, that's certainly very untypical. 13 they made. So there was a lot for Dougie Lawton to spell out to his players in the dressing room. A bit more dangerous now with Koloto again trying to tear through the middle, trying to barge off a couple of players.
I think it's true. For all the good tackling we've had this afternoon, there have been some lapses, and it's these lapses really that have been exploited by both sides.
Yeah, and an enlarged number of handling errors as well. Now Darren Wright, and there must be chances now for Widnes. Can they get that ball out? If Fire's got his arms open wide, he says, for goodness sake, give me the ball. He's coming right, watch out for him. He's there in your shot, but they've left him out of this one. Currier's back in field. Fire's behind him, and it still didn't come to a Fire. Instead, it's gone to Jonathan Davis, and there must be a try for John Devereux. Widnes have got their score, and you sensed it was coming. And John Devereux, the Welshman, 6 tries for him this season, and it's come at a good time for his side.
Well, I have made the point there have been several lapses in defence, and this one was opened up here. The player wasn't put to the ground. David Hume picks the ball up, runs round the defence that have been sucked into the middle of the field, and it really is only good passing along the line to give Devereux the overlap and a try at the corner.
It's a bit of a flopper kick. But still at 15-10, Widnes a good deal happier than they were.
Well, Widnes have put their game together a little bit the second half, but it is woeful tackling here. Look, 2-3 men hold him up. He still gets the ball away. Hume latches onto that, sees the defence standing still, moves it out wide, perfectly timed passes, Devereux at the corner.
And Zukamer, who limped away in the first half, looks as though he might be coming back. Now Rovers see what they can do on attack, and Sullivan loses it. And if Myler had been able to continue there, they might have been a scorer. Everybody's losing their boots this afternoon. That's about the third time one's come away. Now they try to come down the left. And can they get the ball over to a fire this time? Jonathan Davies, he might not need a fire. What a scorching try from the Welsh wizard. Jonathan Davies, very happy with life at the moment, and that's a remarkable try from the Welshman.
Well, tries from mistakes has been a feature this afternoon. Hull KR had the ball, Widnes take it away from him, move it out wide. Jonathan Davies comes into the line, a missed tackle again. How many have we seen? But a superb step inside the defence, a wonderful try.
No comment required, and another opportunity gone.
But the game played simply, you can always make tries, and this is exactly what Widnes have done here. It is merely passing the ball with people taking it on the burst. Jonathan Davies goes on the outside, a feeble effort to grab hold of him fails. He steps inside superbly and crosses for a try.
Strong running from the other Welshman now. Devereux, perhaps inspired by his countryman. Oh, Devereux has gone well there. In fact, if he'd given the ball to Wright, something might have been on. And Wright has lost it this time. Well, Darren Wright, he knocked on the last time the Hull Kingston Rovers kicked off, and there he's lost the ball in his own half and given Rovers a chance with Mike Fletcher to come at them again. He's coming right at the Widnes' throat. They go right. There are not many men over there, so Lyman has to go straighter. The word is that, funnily enough, Fletcher might be going off in a moment for Emma to come back on. Golding. Golding, he's going to make it, maybe. James Golding, if he stretches, he's in. And that is a richly deserved try for the New Zealand prop forward. Great timing from James Golding as well to come back after the Davies try.
Hull KR need inspiration, and this pass and this tackle and taking men off the ball by James Golding was just the inspiration and the try they needed.
He's a purposeful player. Well, he was on the scoreboard last year for his country. He's on the scoreboard today for his club. It's the second one he's scored for Hull Kingston Rovers, and a substitution is being made at the same time. Zuckermer to come back on to stiffen things up through the middle. Hallis. Not this time. And so the margin remains 5 points. 19-14, but it really was a great time for Rovers to score. They were just beginning to rock.
Well, it was really, because it was an inspirational try. I mean, he took it on the burst. He's had a strong game already this afternoon, his tackling and his power play.
Re-entry of Zuckermer.
Well, something special was needed by Hull Kingston Rovers, and this man produced it, pushing tackle after tackle, forcing his way over.
Rovers looking to inject a bit of pace maybe now. Watson, Emma, still there, Zuckermer, in his testimonial season here at Craven Park. Watson, who got a try in the first half for Lightfoot, who comes inside, and the touch judge is on here as Watson was flattened. Watson receiving the treatment. The referee tells the timekeeper to stop the clock. The touch judge on to have words with referee Crashley.
Well, the ball is moved across here, and after Watson passes, look, the tackler had come through and hit him after the ball. Not the nice side of rugby league.
Well, it's a long conference going on as the treatment is applied to Goulding, and the yellow card is shown to David Hume. So, I wonder if Malcolm Reilly's problems are going to pile even more. At the moment, he's just been sin-binned, of course, but he's another one in the Great Britain squad to go off in a match.
Well, if people are tackled late, they must realise that they are committing an offence, and they will suffer as a consequence. And it certainly won't do his side any good or his own personal chances.
It is only for 10 minutes. And it's to be hoped Hull Kingston Rovers don't regret these misses. The margin remains at 5 points. Well, we were conjecturing at half-time as to what Dougie Lawton's words might have been to his team. He still looks pretty tense, as well he might. 5 points behind. Less than 5 minutes left as they come down the right. And they're beavering away, and it's been such a hard-working performance. And it will have helped Roger Millward forget all about the David Bishop storm of the week. The overall performance, and Ho tries manfully to get over. They only just spotted him. His boot's gone as well. They must have a word with the manufacturers. Watson twisting this way and that. And that was all right, that tackle. It was a little bit high, but the referee said it was okay. On the last tackle, Parker, drop goal from Golding maybe. No, Hallis. Yes! Graham Hallis perhaps rounds it all off with a splendid drop goal, his second of the afternoon, to go with his other 4 kicks.
Well, you have to make the most of your pressure. They really got into 6s and 7s, and there was a doubt whether Goulding was going to take it himself. But Graham Hallis came in and dropped a superb goal to take the score even further away from Widnes.
And here he is with the ball again, Graham Hallis. Well, no doubt he's got memories of that last match ever played at Craven Park when he scored a try. He was very much a youngster just coming into the game then. But today, Graham Hallis has shown that he's really grown up in the game of rugby league. That was another excellent run from Andy Thompson. He's been resourceful and strong in these closing minutes, as indeed is Emma here. Parker's kick, a fire's taken, a fire goes between the two of them, and he's got a chance now as he comes inside. Martin Afire inside another, outside, he keeps going a fire, outside yet another, now he comes back in. Well, I thought he might have gone all the way down the touchline, but it has set Widnes up for a late foray. Hume, Myler, still Myler, goes inside, and Tony Myler, they will not stop him, I'm sure. Tony Myler's second try of the afternoon. It all came because Afire was able to hold on to the ball, and he set them up, and Myler's in.
Well, I've said all through the game that the more direct the running from Widnes, the better off they are as a team. And this certainly, again, just shows up that. Myler shrugs off a tackle, turns inside, the defence has all gone away from him, and he makes it all look so simple.
22 points to 18 it is now after the Widnes captain's try. Another message there to Malcolm Reilly maybe. Davis. Oof, in off. 22-20. A grandstand finish again, but is there time for Widnes? Ho, Goulding. Last tackle, I wonder if they'll try and give Hallis a hat-trick of drop goals. Happy just to kick it straight up in the air. Sullivan comes in field, hoping to profit. Coloto puts it down, but the knock-on was on the Rovers side. Is awarded against Hallis because he and Grimmer were having an altercation. Literally seconds left. Well, Widnes won't call it off yet. as Myler takes it on and goes through the middle. He's gone right instead of left, and he's still going. Myler, brilliant running from him. Devereux coming in field. It's all over, and Hulkingston Rovers have set their own season alight here at Craven Park with a victory over the World Club champions, and you can tell on the faces of the players how much it means to them. Youngsters like Andy Thompson, the experienced men like Goulding, who's just gone off. It's been a great team effort at the end of a difficult week. But Hulkingston Rovers beat Widnes by 22 points to 20.
Sean Ho, you've won the tackles against Phil McKenzie, you won the scrums 10-2. How about that?
Fantastic, brilliant. Get a good push from the lads. Get a good push from the lads. Just took me out, that's all I did, all I could do.
That's your greatest moment in rugby league?
Hey, get to Wembley, be better.
Come on, thanks very much. Come on, lads, come on, down, and we'll get this through.
So a sweet moment for young Sean Ho. The closeness of the score reflected there, 22-20. Tries from Sullivan, Watson and Goulding. Hallis's 4 goals, supplemented by 2 drop goals. Widnes came back strongly. 2 tries for Myler, 1 each for Devereux and Davis. 2 goals for Davis. And David Watkins is alongside me to tell me who the Stonesbridge man of the match is.
This week it's a player who epitomised the spirit of Hulkingston Rovers. His strong, forceful running and his kicking at goal, including his 2 drop kicks, makes my Stonesbridge Man of the Match award go to Graham Hallis.